The Papua New Guinea census was extended this week after enumerators had failed to cover the entire country. After being delayed a week, it started on 21st of June and was set to finish last Sunday. Our PNG correspondent Scott Whitey told Don Wiseman what has been going on.
Officially, it was to have ended. The official deadline was Sunday. So Sunday, everything was to be completed. Unfortunately, that's not the case. The minister released a statement on the weekend stating that the census office and the head of the National Statistics Office has informed him that many areas still are yet to be counted, and the office has requested for additional time to complete that. The National Capital District has begun mop-up exercises, and it's much easier to do it for NCD than other places. So realistically speaking, we don't expect an end to the census as per the dates that have been specified by the government.
Yes, well, when likely then now?
There hasn't really been a date put for the end of the census. I mean, the actual count itself, given the practicalities of it, and places like rural Enga, Western Province, where it's difficult to get to, they're still being counted. And they have outstanding bills for helicopters that they haven't settled yet, outstanding payments for the workers. There's a lot of complaints around the payment of allowances, and it's an ongoing issue that hasn't really been resolved yet.
All the counters, or the enumerators, they were meant to be given tablets, but there weren't enough tablets to go round. Is that the story?
The tablets didn't come on time because the payments had been made, but when the actual census started, it hadn't been issued. The applications hadn't been downloaded yet, and the vast majority of them had been in warehouses or had been arriving in warehouses when the census started. So a lot of members of the public who were waiting to be counted were expecting the tablets to feature prominently in that census count. It didn't show.
It's 11 years since PNG had a census. A hell of a lot has happened. There have been a lot more Papua New Guineans arrive on the scene since then. How accurate is this information going to be, given that it's being collected over quite a long period of time, and clearly there'll be places where it just doesn't get collected at all? Yeah,
judging from the process and how it's going so far, the figures definitely won't be accurate or as accurate as we want them to be. And a lot of the people who were counted, I haven't been counted yet. A lot of the people who have been counted were complaining about the number of questions that they were given to fill out. And it's definitely not the census type questions. There are too few questions for a census. And they expected a lot more work to be put into it. But from what I've heard and what I've seen on social media and what people have been telling me, there's not enough work done on the actual forms for data collection. And if there was some work done, it was inadequate.
Now, the population count, the last I'd heard, was in a country with expected to have something like 12 million people. I think the count was saying 900,000, so they've got a lot of work to do there.
Yes, there's a lot of work to do, and the minister responsible, Richard Masere, has been very hard on the census office, and particularly the head of the National Statistics Office. He sent off a letter that was leaked, being very critical of the amount of work put in and the efforts by the census office. He's also acknowledged the difficulties that the census office is facing, but the politicians can say something, but it's the reality on the ground is that the money didn't come quick enough. The preparations were poor, and a lot of people didn't get counted.